Nous sommes le 11 avril 2016 à l'ambassade d'Équateur à Londres. Julian Assange, le cofondateur de WikiLeaks, est confiné ici depuis 1952 jours.
1, 2. The US government, in response to our publications, said to France, hey, settle down.
Julian Assange, c'est toute une vie de hacking. Ado, l'Australien pénètre les serveurs, craque les mots de passe, sa cible, les organismes gouvernementaux. WikiLeaks, son site, publie une vidéo classée confidentielle défense américaine. Irak, Bagdad. Les caméras sont positionnées sur des mitrailleuses des forces américaines. Des civils irakiens, un caméraman, un photographe sont la cible.
Dis-moi quand tu les as. Vas-y, tire.
Feu à volonté, feu. Continue de tirer. Continue de tirer. Bushmaster 2.6. Bushmaster 2.6.
WikiLeaks enchaîne et publie 1 demi-million de données confidentielles et 260 000 câbles diplomatiques américains. Pour la Maison-Blanche de Barack Obama, c'est WikiLeaks l'ennemi.
Ces publications ne représentent pas seulement une attaque contre les intérêts diplomatiques américains, elles représentent aussi une attaque contre la communauté internationale.
Je dois dire que les révélations faites par WikiLeaks et tous ces documents sont extrêmement embarrassants pour les États-Unis.
WikiLeaks publie d'autres documents top secrets de la NSA, les écoutes téléphoniques de chefs d'État. Parmi eux, la chancelière Angela Merkel en Allemagne et l'Élysée en France.
Il est inacceptable que 3 présidents de la République, M. Jacques Chirac, M. Nicolas Sarkozy, M. François Hollande, aient été écoutés, y compris dans leur conversation privée.
Le président Obama a pris des engagements très clairs dans sa conversation, dans sa discussion avec le président François Hollande.
Retour sur ce jour de 2015 où la France apprend que les États-Unis écoutent l'Élysée.
There was considerable fear within the Elysee that this would build up to such a crescendo where something would have to be done as a significant, at least symbolic gesture. For example, giving Edward Snowden asylum or me asylum or expelling the US ambassador. That actually would have been very normal, considering they were spying on the French presidencies. And you could see a political mood developing for that to happen.
Le président français va réagir pour défendre sa souveraineté. Snowden et Assange seront accueillis en héros dans l'Hexagone. Mais ça, c'était le rêve des lanceurs d'alerte, pas la réalité.
The US government, in response to our publications, said to France, hey, settle down. What we'll do to compensate you is we will give you more of our spying data, that, the spying that we're doing on the Germans, the spying that we're doing on Africa and so on. We'll give you some more of that data. And because of the terror about, because of the fear of Islamic terror attacks in France, that is something that the United States can use to control France. So yes, we spy on your presidents, and even more importantly, we spy on the vast majority of French industry, intercepting every contract. But look, if you complain about it, we can stop feeding you information, and then there'll be more terrorist attacks in France. Or on the other hand, if you're a good boy, then we can give you a little more.
La France terrorisée du 7, du 8, du 9 janvier, du 13 novembre 2015, n'aurait pas d'autre choix que d'accepter le jeu des Américains si elle veut des renseignements pour se protéger.
This is a mafia tactic. It's a protection racket. So, well, look, you better pay something to be better pay something to me to be protected. And if you don't, something bad could happen to you. And if you do, something good could happen to you. So it means that, in practice, France is not able to protect its sovereignty from the United States.
Et selon les câbles WikiLeaks, c'est un président de la République française qui aurait lancé cette grande collaboration sur les échanges de renseignements France-États-Unis.
You know, in our cables, they speak about Sarkozy. Sarkozy the American, as he is called. And he pushed France into ever closer cooperation with the United States at intelligence and military level. Okay, and that actually happened. And while France is an independent nuclear weapons country and has its own culture and its own language, which is large enough to be something, at the intelligence service level, at the deep state level, there's such a desire for interaction that the exterior culture is not able to properly manifest itself. When we revealed that the past 3 presidencies had been deeply penetrated by the United States and that those presidents personally spied on, what should have been the correct response of the DGSE and other French intelligence services? It should have been to come immediately to us and say, do you have more? Can you explain more? Do you know anything else that will help us understand how we failed in our job to protect the president from US spying? That didn't happen. So why didn't that happen? Well, I don't believe the French intelligence services are idiots. They knew that's the first thing to do. But the concern about possibly offending the UK intelligence services, the concern about possibly offending the Americans, that concern was so much higher that they preferred to be a victim than to understand what was going on. We have quite a bit more that has not been published yet. Yeah. So there's things the French Secret Service does not know about how the Americans have been spying on France, including on its political system.
Avertissement ou invitation, le cyberactiviste veut-il maintenir la pression sur les services secrets français?
All secret services are incompetent because they are secret. Secrecy breeds incompetence because you can't have a proper competition and see which moves are good if everything's conducted in secret. And so it just allows all sorts of incompetencies to be covered up, and so as a result there's not a proper pressure to become competent.
À force d'étudier des milliers de documents top secrets, Julian Assange a la conviction que les services de renseignement sont un pouvoir au-dessus des États, des nations, des républiques. Et les espions en perdent la tête.
Let's imagine you work for the CIA or you work for DGSE. Do you feel yourself more French or more spy if you work for DGSE? Do you feel yourself more American if you work for CIA or more spy? You feel yourself as more spy. And so the camaraderie between these intelligence services who are looking in the West, who are looking at the world in a particular way, who are engaging in cooperation with each other, who are trying to keep their respective republics ignorant about their activities, who are engaging in cross-training, who are selling each other equipment, who are engaging in cooperative missions. they feel that they are part of the one system, the one group of people.
La DGSE a transmis des renseignements à la NSA, y compris les données concernant les citoyens français et étrangers.
There is a market in spies, okay, but it's a very bad market. What is the market? Well, different individuals, private organizations, and government organizations say, hey, I can help you understand the world. You give me money, I'll go out, find out what's really happening, tell you who's doing it, who's not doing it, maybe make a plan of action, and in this way understand the secretive world. Okay, so all the people who say that they can do that are in some kind of competition, and the French government can't go everywhere. It can go to DGSE, it can go to private contractors, it can try and encourage the Americans to give it some information, and the British as well, and some other states. Okay, so that's the market. Now let's imagine you want to go and buy some intelligence or conduct intelligence operation. Who do you go to? Where are all these reviews of all the different intelligence operations and all the different intelligence services and how much they cost and what you get for your money and so on? They don't exist. And because they don't exist, you have a very bad market. Exactly the same as if you were going to buy a car, but all the reviews of all the cars were secret, and you didn't even know half the cars that existed. And when people had a car crash in a particular car because of some mechanical failure, the investigation was all kept secret. The fact that some cars had even crashed or their engines had exploded, you didn't even know because it was all kept secret. So that's what produces the current intelligence system that we have in almost every country. Deeply incompetent, deeply expensive.
Exemple, mai 2013, Hong Kong. Edward Snowden, le lanceur d'alerte, est réfugié dans un hôtel avec des journalistes. Jour après jour, il révèle la globale surveillance de son ex-employeur, la NSA, sur le monde.
Isn't it completely absurd that in the largest intelligence manhunt the world has ever seen, which was that period of 2 weeks where the US government in 2013 was trying to snatch Edward Snowden from Hong Kong using legal and illegal means, that WikiLeaks, a small publisher, in that well-defined contest, managed to get in there and grab Edward Snowden right out from under their noses. Yeah. When the CIA, the NSA, the State Department, the White House were all over it. And I was in here surrounded by all this surveillance that's on the outside. How can that possibly be explained? You know, we're pretty good at what we do, but it's not possible to explain that it's because WikiLeaks is so good. There's another half of the explanation, which is that the intelligence system is incompetent.